What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean, and today, reactions to the classics. We got a little unique video here for our patron Rich. We're going to react to The Supremes and then Vanilla Fudge, but we're going to look at the same song.
Yeah, I like it.
You Keep Me Hanging On. So we're going to take a look first at the great girl group, The Supremes. Always love what I hear from them. And then Vanilla Fudge did a little psychedelic 7-minute kind of reworking of the tune as well. So we're going to listen to that and see which version we like more. And
yeah, the Supremes went to #1. And then the very next year, which is weird, I guess this is kind of how it was done in the 60s, Vanilla Fudge released their version as a single, and it went to #6. So yeah, quite a different treatment from the two. And Trey, this kind of kicks off a sort of a series we're going to be doing, song battles, whether it's, this version where they're covers, whether it's two songs by the same artist, which one's better. We did one for John Cougar Mellencamp a little while back, or whether they're two completely different artists. But it's going to be a new Patreon tier as well if you want us to do that for you.
Yeah, man. So thanks as always, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Looking forward to doing this. So we're going to start with the Supremes version. You Keep Me Hanging
I know
On.
this one. I don't know the Vanilla Fudge version.
Yeah, as always, y'all, we're going to have the lyrics pulled up and then listen to the tune, save the meat of our analysis toward the end, and then we'll move to Vanilla Fudge after this. But let's get rocking. You Keep Me Hanging On. Let's get it.
I can do about it.
The truth, man. Keep Me Hanging On. The Supremes, man. Supreme's a wonderful group. I know they're one of the highest selling girl groups ever. I really love their record from '64. Where Did Our Love Go? And so hearing this, I had high expectations, and I think they met them, man. It was interesting. It had that constant dun 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 in the background.
Yeah, it did. I thought that was good. It's number 339 on the Rolling Stones Top 500 Songs of All Time. Their version is, I read that Diana Ross's vocals were multi-tracked.
Oh, there you go.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I could kind of tell it had that layering
a little different
effect in there. A little bit of course, what you would expect. The horn arrangement coming in slightly as well, and cool lyricism too. I like that coming from the female perspective. You know, it's tough sometimes to stay friends after that relationship, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now we move to Vanilla Fudge. Trey, have you ever heard of Vanilla Fudge?
I've heard the name, but
I never heard of Vanilla Fudge. I see their next single after this in their singles chronology was Eleanor Rigby, so I may have to go listen to that.
Maybe that's where I've heard.
That's quite the task to tackle. I read also that Rod Stewart also recorded this and did a similar arrangement because Carmine, the lead singer of Vanilla Fudge, was in his band by this time, and so he did this. So the single version of this song was released only 2 minutes and 59 seconds. But Trey, we don't do singles versions here at Reaction.
Gotta go album, man.
We're gonna go the 7+ minute. So that'll be interesting to compare.
Yeah,
the longer version.
Quite a contrast between a 7-minute psychedelic version and the Supremes.
I'm gonna guess this sounds completely different, not just because it's a guy, I'm assuming, singing it, but just because the psychedelic, you're not going to release something a year later and have it sound the same. So
and I see this was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, great film.
It was also in the finale of The Sopranos. It was in Mad Men. It was the video game Mafia 3. So it's been around.
So we're rocking.
I mean, I recently watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'm sure I've heard this. I just didn't snap, man.
All right, well, let's get it, man. Already got some of those psychedelic tropes with the droning organ in here. Alright, I'm digging this intro. Better voice than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
Such a groovy track.
I can do about it. You know I need love.
Favorite part of the tune right here. Got a minute and a half left, expecting, of course, just a nice
Kind of the way it
psychedelic
started
outro.
is what I think they'll fade it out to that.
Like, it brought us down, bring us back up again for the outro. Vanilla Fudge coming in, the hazy psychedelic tune, man. What were your thoughts?
Well, that was their first. That was the first take. They did this in a single take.
Oh my, that is impressive right there, man.
That is impressive. And did a little read about. They supposedly were influences on Yes, Styx,
I can see some of that.
Deep Purple, and Led Zeppelin. So they're one of the few American bands to bridge psychedelia to what would soon become heavy metal. So I don't. It's interesting because I'd almost like to listen to the 3-minute single to really compare apples to apples, but it's hard for me because I'm more familiar with the Supremes version.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really good version.
Well, and it's interesting you note that they influenced Deep Purple, Zepp, yes, because you could tell they had that really heavy drum sound throughout, which is kind of prominent in some of the other bands we were talking about, and it just had that very hazy psychedelic, which I really enjoy the music like that in that time period.
Yeah, and I think the cadence of it, the slow. It said that they like to, when they covered something, they'd like to slow it down to half speed. So to kind of let the lyrics breathe. So it kind of went to that psychedelic atmosphere.
And it's interesting too. The song does take on a different meaning when we had the Supremes, obviously coming from a female perspective, and then obviously this coming from that male perspective. Just a little different emotions kind of coming in through there in that regard. But Now to the battle itself, this was a close one, and it's tough because these are, I do like when cover versions are very different from
I do
each
too.
other.
I think that's great. I think that's a way to approach it.
Just dressed up different. But I'm gonna give the slight nod to the Supremes version for myself, with Vanilla Fudge coming in a close second.
Yeah, I'm going to give the edge to the Supremes too. I don't think it's super close yet. I still like the Vanilla Fudge one. The version of this song that I'm very familiar with actually is Kim Wilde covered it in 1986. So a 15-year-old Sean was familiar with that because it went all the way to number one.
Man.
And
somebody now needs to release it.
well,
They'll probably go one again.
I see Rod Stewart's was 7 minutes as well. So I mean, we could do a second battle with Rod Stewart versus Kim
That's
Wilde. You'd
right.
have the male versus female, but that was a fun one, Rich.
That was.
So appreciate the idea and appreciate you bringing it to us.
Absolutely, y'all. Let us know in the comments which version you think is the better one, and I'll be curious to read what you guys think. As always, Dad, appreciate it. And until next time, y'all, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we will see ya.